Hi guys, I'm Nick.
And I'm Rachel.
And we are The Gray Adventure. As we've done a couple of times already, we are going to give you our quarterly budget update report for living full-time on the road in our RV. And the special thing about this video though is that we've actually hit 1 year as we announced in a couple videos ago. So we've been on the road for technically a year and a couple weeks now, but we're just now getting to our budget video to share with you guys. So we're going to be doing our regular quarterly update, but then at the end, you'll want to stick around for that, and we will give you the full numbers for what it's cost us over the last 12 months to live full-time in our RV on the road while traveling full-time. So with that, we're going to jump in and give you a breakdown month by month, what we've done the last quarter, share how many nights we've camped in campgrounds, 1,000 trails, free camping, things like that, and then break down the different categories of where our money has gone.
Yep. So, and the little thingy that'll be on the side over there, that is the app that we use to track all our expenses. The app is called Wallet, and so you'll see some screenshots of that and along with the numbers while we talk. So yes, so for us, this quarter was November, December, and January. And we spent time in Arizona and then a lot of time in California, a little stint in Las Vegas, and then we made our way across Texas really fast.
Yeah, so, and so
that's the area we were in.
Yeah, the end part was us heading across Texas, and then we crossed into the next month. So,
yep.
But with that, so for the month of November, we had a total of 0 free camping nights. We did not have any free camping nights then. We were in California, but we had 15 nights of paid camping and then 15 nights in 1,000 trails. So with that, we also had 2 nights in Hollywood in a hotel.
Oh, right.
So that's when we had our trailer at 1,000 trails. So we're including that in our monthly rent expenses that we typically classify for our campground fees, which was $873.
That's our highest month, isn't it?
Yeah, that's our highest month by far. But maybe by like $100.
Yeah, but that includes a hotel in LA, which we didn't stay in a super fancy hotel.
It was a Motel 6, let's be honest.
We were saving the money.
And then we were in California, and we were expecting to pay a little bit more for gas, which we did.
At the pump,
we actually drove fewer miles that month, so we had $276 in fuel expenses. But then our other big expense for the month, as always, is groceries at $513, and then restaurant expenses at $419. And again, those numbers typically average out if we spend more for groceries or for eating out. It's typically around $1,000, give or take $100 or so. So we're pretty consistent with how much we're spending there.
Yep. Other things that just our regular monthly expenses of insurance was $110 as always. And again, we say this in every budget video.
Well, that's for vehicle and trailer insurance.
Okay, vehicle and trailer.
Yes.
We say this in every video, when we do the budget updates. We do not have a monthly healthcare expense. We are covered under healthcare.gov through the marketplace, and we don't have any
out-of-pocket expenses.
Right,
our girls are covered, and we are covered, and don't have any out-of-pocket expenses for that. So just keep that in mind when looking at these numbers.
Entertainment was $138, and that included a tour in Hollywood, the Warner Brothers studio. Only 2 of us did that. Mariah and I did that one, and just other things throughout the month getting out. In Phoenix, we did a botanical garden and just a few things here and there. Phone for us each month is $120.
And that includes our phone lines and also our 4G hotspot through Verizon. So 2 lines and then the hotspot line.
A big expense for us in November was a pet expense.
Yes.
Our little Maltese had a big puffy gum, and we took her in to get things checked out, and the vet wanted to do sedation and a biopsy to see if there was something stuck in there or to see if it was cancerous. So we went ahead and did it. Turns out it was just an infection, and all we needed was antibiotics.
But $624 later, including food for the dog for the month, but that was
Yeah.
our expense
Total
for.
for the month. Usually that is not the case. So that was the highest expense for the dog.
That's about 50% of our dog expenses for
Mm-hmm.
the entire year, which we weren't planning on.
Yeah. And then the other number in there, just health and beauty, just regular, well, I think your haircuts go in there,
Yep.
and then just, toiletries and that sort of thing that we need. So our monthly expense for
Well, the
November,
healthcare and beauty was 135.
135, yes. Which makes our monthly total that was our highest month yet. And really, it's because of the dog.
Yeah. So $3,207 for the month, and but we made it
Yeah.
through. So
Yeah.
moving
That's-
on to December, much lower, $2,742. With that, 0 nights of free camping again. 11 nights of paid camping, and then 20 nights
20 and
of
Thousand Trails.
Thousand Trails campground nights. We used it a lot that month.
Yeah,
We
we
spent
did.
Christmas in San Diego. We were there for a full 2 weeks, and we had a couple other smaller, shorter stints at Thousand Trails on our way down there from the Bay Area. But so the expense for rent for the month is $373, which is a lot lower than the previous month. But then fuel costs went up about $100 to $379 because we went all the way down to San Diego.
Yep, and we were also driving back and forth to visit family and doing some family events. Or no, that was in November. Huh, never mind.
And then we had groceries at $486, and then for some reason we only spent $265 eating out.
Really? Guess we didn't want to eat out in California.
We did, but yeah, we spent a lot less money
Wow,
than
I'm
we
surprised.
expected. We had some minor expenses for stuff for the house, $60 here and there. And then Christmas presents we included under our clothes and shoes expenses at $243 for the family.
Yeah, didn't do a lot of presents and gifts. There's not a lot of space to put things.
No.
So it was a small, simple Christmas, which was nice.
Yeah, the regular insurance expenses, life and entertainment, we spent $215. And for that one, the big expense was we went to the San Diego Zoo for the day.
Yeah, and all 4 of us that time. So
Yeah.
yes.
So it was a little bit more. 120 on phone bills, things like that again. And then pet bill went down to
Only 76. That's pretty good. And I think she got a haircut in there. So
yeah.
that's
And then health and beauty, $38, and then vehicle maintenance at $216. We had an oil
we
change
did.
in there. We just bought some random things to fix up. And I think you took it for a car wash, and
hey, that's like $5.
no, it was a
I do
little
the
bit
cheap.
more.
I do the cheap car wash. $5. Free vacuums there too. Okay. Anyway, moving on to January. January, we did 2 nights of free camping, and those were both Walmarts as we made our way across Texas.
Yes.
So 2 Walmart camping nights. We did 11 nights paid and 18 nights in Thousand Trails, and both of those. I don't know, we did some in Vegas, some in Texas as well.
Yes.
So that brings our rent total for the month of January, $463. And fuel was $460. Interesting. Very close there.
$460, and technically we probably put on double the miles
Yeah. We
in
were
January than
booking
we
it
did
across.
in December, and yet our fuel costs were only slightly higher because we've started finding gas at
like
$1.99 a
$1.99
gallon
when we've
versus
been-
$4 a gallon in California.
It was ridiculous. Yeah. But we put a lot of miles on. in
Grocery
Texas.
expenses for that month though went up $581 for groceries and $399 for restaurants eating out. We decided to eat out more. Austin and
Oh yeah, Austin had a lot of good food.
yeah, we ate well in Austin. Clothes and shoes, $67, not much.
No.
Insurance, same as always, and then life and entertainment, $66.
That was it.
The only things we actually did was the Ferris wheel
Oh, we did the high roller.
in Las Vegas,
Yeah.
which we got discounted tickets for.
True.
And then we did the tour of the Alamo.
Oh.
And that was
That was it.
all we spent our money on.
We like to find free things.
Yes. Phone bill, regular as always, $120. No expenses on pets. We didn't buy any food. We bought it all
No
the month
food, no
before.
haircuts. Yeah.
Had a couple parking charges, $9. Health and beauty, $154. What did you spend? You bought new shampoos.
Yeah, you have to stock up on things when you're near the stores that you need. So yeah, we stocked up on a few things, and you probably got a haircut by then. 1 month without.
I got it in December.
Whatever.
And then
It's not all my fault.
vehicle maintenance, $6. Splurging on that month.
What did you? That's it?
I don't know.
What did
We
you
bought
get?
something for the car. It was classified as a vehicle expense.
Okay.
I don't know. So for the quarter, we're going to go over the averages. So for the average for the month, for those 3 months, $2,714 per month, which is one of the lower averages that we've had. The second lowest. Our first quarter was our lowest at $2,536. So a little bit more, about $150 more. Averages for the quarter were... We spent more nights in Thousand Trails than we have in a long time.
Well, in the middle of the U.S. and when we were kind of out west and all that, there aren't Thousand Trails options. So once we were in Arizona, Arizona and California, we were back in the system and using that quite a bit.
So our average monthly rent was $570, and then fuel cost was $371 per month. Groceries $526, and then eating out $361. The other big expenses in there was the pet. The average for the quarter was $233 because of that one-time massive expense.
Ugh.
And then health and beauty was higher than
An
usual.
average of 100. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, previous quarters were the average of 23.
Really?
Yeah,
What on earth did we do and spend
And
our
then
money on?
Q2
So-
was our highest average with $153.
Well, every other quarter we have to stock up on shampoos and
Yeah,
soaps
something like
and hair gel. I don't know.
So,
Anyway,
but the real reason you're here is to hear about what our total
Yes.
expenses for the entire year have been.
how much does it cost to live on the road full time? Can we afford it? Can we do it? Those are questions that we hear.
We get it
a
all the
lot.
time.
Yep. And we think absolutely you can. Again, we're a family of 4 with a small dog. And so our yearly total, we tracked all our expenses for the whole year, every little thing.
And we need to put one other caveat. Our trailer is paid for,
Yes.
and also our truck is paid for.
Right. So we do not have payments on
So we
those.
don't have payments on that. So that has a big impact on what someone's
Yes.
quarterly or monthly budget's going to be, because those are big expenses if you
And-
are paying monthly payments.
And also
on
the
those.
health insurance. Again, those are 3 things that a lot of people do have to
Yeah.
pay that we're fortunate enough not to have to pay.
So, drum roll. The total for the year was $33,816, which averages out
That's it.
to $2,818 per month, which in the grand scheme of things isn't that much money. We were actually just looking up a couple minutes ago what the poverty rate in the U.S. is. So for a family of 4, it's about $25,000. So it's $8,000 more than what the poverty rate is. I would say it's in the lower middle class range of what a family of 4 would be bringing in and also
Sure.
spending throughout the year.
Right.
But the difference is we didn't stay in one place and do the same thing every single day. We traveled the country and saw some pretty amazing things. So with that, total free camping nights for the year, we were hoping to do a lot more of these, but we didn't. 45 nights of free camping.
45? That's pretty. And within the first year. Some people are afraid to try boondocking and all that. So I think 45 is decent. More than a month.
With an average about 4 nights a month.
Yeah.
Paid camping, 197 nights of paid camping. And then 118 nights of Thousand Trails. So we're going to be doing another update on Thousand Trails. We did one, a month
Kind
after
of.
joining.
Yeah.
To give you guys an idea of what it was like. But we're going to do a full year of Thousand Trails. Was it really worth it? Spoiler alert. Maybe yeah. If you're looking to save money, definitely.
To save money, yes. But we'll give you some updates on We'll give you
Yeah.
other info in another video.
So we're not going to break down every single expense, but we are going to give you the major ones. So rent, fuel, groceries, and eating out. And of course, every family is a little bit different on how much they spend on any one of these categories, but those four major expenses account for 66% of every dollar we spent for the year. So the biggest one on the list, actually they're kind of tied.
Yeah, they're pretty
our
close.
rent expenses and our grocery expenses. Our rent expenses and grocery expenses are within $30 of each other. So $6,724 for our rent expenses, and then $6,751 for our groceries. And then fuel expenses, $5,488. And I think in our last video, I can't remember, I think we drove 23,000 miles
That sounds right.
with that. So just to give you an idea of how many miles we put on the truck and how far we traveled to all the different places that we've been. That includes, trips to the grocery
trips
store and
and-
stuff like that. It wasn't just pure highway driving all the time. And then eating out, $4,398.
And those can I do it by the month? Those numbers?
Sure.
So those numbers by the month, then rent, we averaged monthly rent of $560.
And that includes our Thousand Trails membership costs included in
Right,
there because we
we
split it across
split
the
it.
12 months.
So that's fantastic. I mean, you couldn't live in a house or
No,
an
you-
apartment for $560. I mean, maybe some places in the country, yes, but that would be pretty hard to
Well,
find.
and one of the things to remember, that rent expense also includes most utilities, everything besides your phone bill, really, because and propane as well. Propane we didn't spend much on.
No, but that's
all.
included in our
Yeah.
rent price is what we put in there. So then groceries averaged for the month, fuel, sorry. Fuel for the month then averaged $457 per month, which if you were stationary, that would go down quite a bit. If you weren't traveling as often as we are, that wouldn't be as high. Groceries monthly ends up being about $563, and restaurants,
300.
this is so tiny, and there's a glare.
$367.
$367. So that's how it plays out for the whole year, and then the monthly.
Yeah, and like for eating out, honestly, like if we were stationary, we wouldn't eat out as much. It's
That's
because
true.
we're getting
trying
to
all the area. New Orleans, you've got to try that food, and
you get to new cities, you got to try the
Austin,
local
yeah.
food. Also on travel days when
if we don't
when
pack,
we had extra long travel days, traveling morning till night, and you
we
don't
stop
want
and
to
eat because we would need to get out and stretch and move around.
Yeah.
So we're eating out then. So I think that would be lower.
Yeah, and most of the other expenses, clothing, insurance, or vehicle insurance, life and entertainment, phone, most of those are right around $100 each. 100 to 120 here and there. The pet expenses jumped up to $95 per month because of that one big
That
expense, or else it would have
$600
been
thing.
about $50 a month.
Yeah.
Again, it is cheaper and more convenient to travel without a pet.
Yeah, but our pet is small, so she doesn't eat a lot.
Yeah.
She does need grooming because she's long hair, but it's.
And
not too
then
expensive.
health and beauty was the other big one at like $75 a month. So that's pretty much it. I mean, $33,816 does sound like a big number, but when you look at the average family in the U.S. and how much money they spend and what they spend their money on, it's really not that bad. I mean, the fact that we traveled over 25,000 miles and visited countless places. I mean,
So we hit in the year 26 or 27 states. I have to check our other video on that one.
yeah, I think we
27
hit
states.
27 states total, 27 or 28, I can't remember. Too many numbers. But yeah, we hit that many states and 14 national parks.
Yeah.
Additional
so we've
state
seen
parks.
a ton in a year. It's been an amazing year. We've seen a lot. Yeah, and it's totally affordable, totally doable. Now, again, you have to compare it to your family and your income or what you might be able to make while you're on the road if you haven't set out already. So hopefully seeing actual numbers is helpful for you to just compare to see how one family does it and what we spend. I wish we would have tracked our expenses more when we were in just a regular house and living, you know, sticks and bricks normal life, because I'd love to be able to compare this to what we used to spend. Because people ask us all the time, are you saving money? Are you spending more? We don't know exactly because we have tracked everything.
Well, I think we spend less because we have no room to buy random things
that's
in
true.
life.
Yeah.
Like you go to the store and you're like, oh, this would be cool in the living room. We could totally use this. And you spend $50. And you do that once or twice a month, and you spend $150, $200 for things just to fill your house. And honestly, we have no room in our house to put more stuff in.
Yeah, no, so we're really limited. Also things like, oh, this is on sale, I'm going to stock up on this. We can't do that either because there's nowhere to do that.
Grocery
so we're
expenses
spending a lot less.
would be less in a sticks and bricks
That
house.
is true.
Because you have the option of buying larger packet sizes and things like that, and saving money on that end, and shopping at the same grocery store. A lot of times we're going to grocery stores that are more expensive,
right?
Because it's the only thing that's available.
Yeah. And now that's for us. We have a smaller RV and we don't have a lot of storage, but we know a lot of families on the road that do shop at Costco and they have the storage for it, or they add an extra freezer to their rig. So it is possible. You can still save, especially large families that travel. They still need to continue to shop that way, and it just depends on the room that we have. We don't have the room.
But that's going to do it. So if you have any questions about the money that we've spent over the last year, how we've kept track of any of it, you know, what we would do differently or do the same, or, you know, tips and tricks on how to save money while on the road, let us know what your thoughts are. Share your ideas, comments below. We answer every single one of them. She doesn't. She ignores them. But I go through and I make sure I answer every single one of the questions that comes through, so that you guys have additional insight into what this lifestyle is like, and how you can actually do it if it's something that you're interested in. So
it's totally doable.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to share it with friends or family who might be interested in full-time RV living as well. And we hope to catch you guys on the road.